everyone. Welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. In this session, we'll discuss about 27/9/2022 newspaper guys. So let's quickly get into the issues and check what are all there. Italy tilts right as voters line up behind Giorgia Meloni's party. What is this right left normally in politics guys? We just keep listening about it, and it's extremely important for our analysis further as well. You see, in political parties, we normally have something called as right wing, left wing, centrist. Now, I'll tell you what right wing wants. For right wing, religion is important. Religion is important than people who follow it. Fine. For right wing, nation is more important than people. Fine. Religion is more important, country is more important, and they normally look backwards. That means what? My religion is great, my nation is great, it is historically very strong, very powerful. They all come under right wing political parties. Left wing political parties, for them, people are more important than religion. Poverty elimination is more important, right? And they are progressive. What do you understand by the term progressive? Forward looking. They want change. Centrist people will have these people also, and they will talk in both the languages, like Indian politicians. In India, there is nothing called right and left, apart from saying, like, there are left political parties and right political parties. India doesn't have much, because in India, every political party speaks every language based upon election requirements, so doesn't come. But yes, this is a very important question. Now, what is happening in Europe case? Let's see. From Middle East, that is like Syria and other places, many people are entering into Europe case for job opportunities and all. So migration is increasing. So the left political parties who were in power, they wanted these migrants to come and settle, because for them, people is more important than the country. People is more important than the religion. But when these migrants enter into a country, they take up the resources, like they create some problem, some crimes increases, not too much, but there will be. So what happens? That makes right wing people to tell, see, my country's religion is lost, my country's sovereignty is lost. These people are coming into my country and taking away my resources. Today in the world, everywhere inflation is there. So when inflation is there, we are all suffering. At that time, you're bringing some other people providing them job opportunities, providing them food, providing them benefits from the people's tax. Is that fair enough? So this is what the debate is. Now I'll tell you, far right basically means extreme religious, extreme nationality, extremely going backwards. So those words come into picture, guys. In elections of political parties, these all always will be there, guys, because people will be fed up of one ideology and they shift to the other ideology. That's what happens. So this is just for your understanding, nothing to write. Take screenshot of it and just write down. That's enough. Now, guys, Azad floats party not required. Rupee drops to a record low of 81.67 against the dollar. Okay, so let's look into this because economy is always important, and even if we keep repeating certain aspects, there will be an issue. Now, you see, let me tell you the story properly, guys. In United States of America, they do a process called as quantitative easing. Fine, they do something called as quantitative easing. Now, what does it mean? See, guys, in a country, there is recession. That means there is low demand for products. See, now, low demand for products means low sales. Low sales means low production, and low production means low GDP. Fine. Recession normally leads to low GDP. And what bank will do? That is central bank of US will do. It will try to solve the problem. How? Bank will give loan at low interest. Bank will tell, I will give money at a low interest. Now, what will happen? People will get money and people will start purchasing the products. They will tell house loan tax is less, personal loan tax is less, interest is less. Fine. So, purchasing increases. When purchasing increases, low demand for products will be stopped, low sales will be stopped, low production will be stopped, and low GDP will be stopped. So, that method of banks giving loans at low interest is known as quantitative easing. Clear, guys? Quantitative easing. Banks giving money at a lower interest rate. Now, what happens whenever banks give money at lower interest rate, people will take the money. One, they purchase the goods. Second, they do investment. Now they do investments in share markets like Sensex and all, because you may earn some income. So the investments came. Now what they will do? They do these investments in countries like India. Now, banks gave dollars, dollars will buy rupees, and rupee will buy shares. When dollar buys rupee, rupee value increases. Fine, guys? So remember, quantitative easing, when it happens, money will come towards India, rupee value increases. Fine, I hope you got the point. Now you see, now what US is doing, now there is inflation. Inflation means high demand. High demand means what I should do, what is the measure? Reduce the demand. How? Increase interest rate. If I increase interest rate, loans will become costly and demand for the products reduces. Do you all agree? Yes, guys? And reduce the demand for the products. See, such a good measure. Right. Now, what US will do? They will go for quantitative tapering. What is the meaning of that? Increase interest rate. So guys, when interest rate increases, earlier people, whoever have taken loan, they have to pay more interest rate. So loan will become costly. So what will happen? People who have taken shares are called equities. Those people will sell equities. They will get rupees. Rupees will buy dollar, and dollar is given back to bank. When rupee buys dollar, dollar value increases, rupee value decreases. Quantitative tapering leads to decline in rupee value. Everyone. So guys, now in the world, due to war, inflation is increasing. As inflation is increasing, that means I have to reduce the demand. So banks across the world are increasing the demand, sorry, increasing the interest rate. When they increase the interest rate, money will be taken away from the developing countries. So the value of that money reduces. That's why Nirmala Sitharaman and all are telling that not only India, even other countries are suffering with the same. So guys, if anyone requires, you can go back and take screenshot of it and write down. I'm explaining the processes, guys, and these will be explained to you in your economy classes as well. If you have already read, they would have already explained as well. Correct. I'm just revising. That's why I'm not making you people to write everything, because whatever is there in the static books that you must follow there. But if you have understood the concept in the video, then make a small note with respect to that. Centers push for Navik system lands smartphone giants on unknown road. This is a very important thing. Now you see, Navik is navigation with Indian constellation. Yes, the mobile phones and all we use work under GPS system. The GPS is owned by United States of America. Now there is a fear that if we are overly dependent on United States of America, and tomorrow if something happens, we won't be in a position to fight back. So we should have our own network. India is very good in space, so we have our own space network called Navik, and that should be used for mobiles and all rather than using GPS. Now, if at all you want to go for that system, then your mobile phones entire equipments must be changed. Samsung, Apple, and other people want to replace the features which are present inside, right? And also, most importantly, they may have to replace equipment sometimes, which they feel is very costly, and they have spent enough money already to buy 5G spectrum. So, these are some of the things that we wanted to discuss, guys. Now, is putting power back in the hands of the people. This is just about how different things happen in different countries, is not so important. Home and abroad. If India is to unite polarized nations, it must bring divisive forces into control. Is in this particular thing, the article is trying to say that while talking about, what India looks at United Nations, India was discussing about the problems that India is trying to face because of inflation. But we looked at Turkey, Pakistan and all, trying to speak against India. These are all not so important issues, right? Just a comment on certain aspects happening, that's it. Yeah. So, guys, here Kishan Reddy is Union Minister of Tourism, and he has written about what has happened in tourism recently. I want you to write this Dharmashala Declaration. Dharmashala Declaration. Okay, heading will be tourism. Tourism. Dharmashala Declaration. Hyphen. It aims to recognize. It aims to recognize India's support. India's support for global tourism and also promote domestic tourism. Domestic tourism. Next point. The main aim, the main aim is to increase India's GDP, is to improve India's GDP, and by 2030, and by 2030, tourism must contribute, tourism must contribute $250 billion, and by 2047, and on 2047, India should become world's best tourism destination. Guys, next, Samarkand, a miniature of an emerging world. Guys, here they are trying to talk about what happened. It's a very good article, but it is summary of whatever has happened. I'll just give, take 15 minutes, go through it once, because we have regularly read about this case. Government to restrict awards given for scientific research. They want to say that it must be given only for few people who deserve it, rather than giving it to everyone. Yes, and then Indian government has blocked videos on 10 YouTube channels which were trying to spread misinformation about, Agnipath and other schemes. So this is a common thing. We are leaving to Japan to attend Shinzo Abe's funeral. GM terrorist impact of drugs. Guys, here they are telling that uh, people whoever don't come under central OBC list can also apply under EWS. Yes, this is BJP independent MLAs. Sachin Pilot not required. Demolition case after rape. Odisha High Court judge pronounces 32 judgments in one day. So it is trying to tell how much problems are there. Live streaming online RTI portal. Supreme Court takes big steps on transparency. Very, very important, guys. You write governance below that governance. See, guys, here the court is trying to say that online RTI portal will be there, which will see how many applications are coming, and you can apply online, and whether it is cleared or not, all those things would be monitored effectively. So you write governance, transparency below that. One of the major problem, one of the major problem in RTI, is difficulty in filing, difficulty in filing, and no proper response, and no proper response for all the queries, for all the queries. Full stop. Under the recent measures, Supreme Court has argued that Supreme Court has argued that there will be online portal, there will be online portal which will make it easier, which will make it easier to apply, to apply and also monitor. 11 children killed in Russian shooting, guys. A party with neo-fascist roots, Brothers of Italy, form government I discussed. As Sri Lanka backs freedom of expression at UN, police arrest dozens of protesters at home. So it's a growing program, guys, and growing problem in Sri Lanka. Sensex slides 1.6% on slowdown. Fears. Rupee slides to 81.67. See, guys, Indian stocks tumbled since the US Federal Reserve adopted a hawkish stance last week to control rising inflation. Following a sell-off in the local equity markets by foreign funds, the rupee hit at another record low. Do you understand the meaning? FIIs are selling. That means people are selling all the, what do you call as, share market or shares. So once that is done, what is going to happen? Rupee goes out of the country, rupee buys dollars, dollar value increases, rupee value decreases. This is the actual issue. Fine. They may ask you questions also like, when there is global inflation, will it increase or decrease rupee value? Questions can be like that as well. Fine. So thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.